In the shadow of my dreams, I was confined a prisoner of my own mind, hoping to find escape from the horrors that kept haunting me. Chained to a bed, just imagine a nightmare with Freddy. Every night his claws would scrape against my fears. A twisted dance, waking dripping in cold sweat and tears. But deep within, a flicker of strength found its way. I'm about to break free from this endless fray. Growing up, it felt like I was in prison, shackled to a bed and life filled with derision. But now I rise, armored against my own fright. No longer bound, I'm ready to face the fight. Through the darkness, I found the light of resilience, unlocking the power to break these chains of existence. No longer confined to the grip of my past, I'll scope a new reality. Damn. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Let me make sure that y'all can hear me. I got on here, yo. I said I was gonna talk about this. I've been speaking to a lot of, hold on 1 second. What the heck am I on right now? I've been speaking to a lot of the, a lot of young ladies out here that have been going through a lot of issues and a lot of trauma. And the whole purpose of this live is so that, I want them to know that they're not alone. Not just them, anybody out there. You don't have to be a teenager. You don't have to be somebody my age. You could be somebody older that's been through it. And speaking on trauma, it's not something, easy to do. A lot of people that go through trauma, hold on 1 second. A lot of people that go through trauma, like sometimes, they seek the help, sometimes they don't. A lot of the times they think that they could, end up resolving the situation alone and not realizing that sometimes we do need some type of support to, help us. Here we go. That's what I was doing. And sometimes we do need some type of support to help us. All right. Dealing with sexual assault is not something easy. And those people out here that overcome the situation, something is still loading on my, what is still loading? All right, those that know how to overcome the situation, they're considered a survivor. To me, once you're able, how can I say it? Once you're able to speak on your situation, right? Once you dealt with it and you're able to help the next person, you're way more than just a survivor. Now you're a warrior. Like, a lot of people think that when you're sitting here and you're talking on your story, a lot of people faking it, a lot of people this. No, that's not always the case. A lot of people are scared to speak up on their story, to speak on their truth because they'll get bashed, they'll get put down, they'll get made fun of, and it's true. That happens a lot of the situations. A lot of people be like, oh no, that can't be true. That ain't happened. How do you know what happened unless you've been in this person's shoes? Unless you've walked a mile in this person's shoes. A lot of people come on here, what's crazy? Me, I'm gonna put it like this, surfing through these channels, these YouTube streets. A lot of people tell their stories in their own way, like how they're comfortable. The first time I spoke on my story, it wasn't easy. All right. I did it out of the heat of the moment because of everything that was happening to me, not realizing that my story was going to help a lot of people. And that's the crazy part. Like, I did it because, everything that was happening to me at the moment, the pressure, and I just wanted to show everybody, look, listen, man, this is why I'm doing this. Like, I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of that. Like, when the hell is we going to have peace? I lashed out and I just said everything because it's crazy, right? You would think that family would be the first ones there to help you out, but they'd be the first ones to push you in. I'm gonna put it like this: family will be the first ones to sit here and dig a hole and throw you in that ditch. Real shit. Like, and I said ditch with a D, not a B. I didn't say, ditch. Family will be the first ones. Like, yeah, we got friends that turn into enemies. We got friends that turn into haters, but family be the first one. Shout out to those out there, that have experienced having a family that's there for them, that rocks out for them, that is, able to pull them out when they're drowning in deep waters and stuff like that. But not everybody, and I mean not everybody, is fortunate enough out here to sit here and have somebody to help them. And not everybody is comfortable. You want to know what's the one thing that a lot of us survivors have? The one thing that we got in common is that we don't trust nobody. We have a hard time trusting anybody. And what's crazy is, right, that a lot of us, when we do end up trusting people, we end up being used and misused, and we don't realize. And when we do realize it, it's like, damn, you wake up, you stand up, you speak for yourself, and now you're the villain. And that's the crazy part. Like, how you end up being the villain when you're standing up and speaking up for what's right. Let me tell y'all something, right? I had the same issues growing up that a lot of the young ladies and a lot of these young men have right now, have growing up. And the issue is trying to figure out who you can let all this out to, who you could trust. That's the hardest part right there. Who can you trust? Who is not going to sit here and make you feel like crap? Who's not going to sit here and bring you down? Who's not going to sit here and twist your story around? Like, who can you sit here and actually spill it out to? And who can sit here and actually give you some advice that you can actually listen to and think about and be like, damn, I didn't see it like this. That's the hard part. If not, it's the trust issues and it's crazy because you gotta live by that one code. Because I've always said it to people, it's not always the issue, but it's rare for it not to be the issue. And I'm gonna be very honest. Like, yo, everything in life is not free. A lot of people out here, when they say, yo, I got you and I'm gonna reach out, yo, let me be that listening ear, it comes with something behind it. And I'm gonna be very honest, a lot of us fall for it, thinking that, oh, this person is going. That's where our trust issues go. That's where our trust issues leave, because we've had people sit here and say, we've got your back, da 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 da. But at the end, you'll be like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Like, is you here for me or is you against me? Like, why is you saying this if you know it's like this and not like that? So yeah, we all go through that issue, and it's like, damn if you do and damn if you don't. The only thing that I could say to a lot of people is, listen, man, speak your truth. Speak it, because regardless of anything, you're going to have somebody that's going to hate. You're going to have somebody that's going to rock out. You're going to have somebody that's going to understand, and you're going to have somebody that doesn't understand. It's always going to be somebody there that's going to have something to say. Why? Listen, I could never figure out that question, and can't nobody in this world sit here and answer it for me. I want y'all to realize, right? It's crazy that we still live in an era where a lot of people still cover up for pedophiles. A lot of people still cover up for molesters, like, for real. That shit, like, yo, I just giggled right there, because it's like, it's funny. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, y'all sit here and y'all say y'all fighting for this, y'all say y'all against this, but it's crazy how I sit here and I see a lot of people be hypocritical to what they say, for the simple fact that a lot of y'all say y'all against all this stuff, but y'all rock with people that do stuff like this. I personally, not just because of what I went through, not just because I am a surviving warrior, I personally cannot sit here and rock with somebody that has the mind sick enough to sit here and do things with kids they shouldn't have to, force kids to do things they don't want to. I can't rock out with somebody that covers up for people that do these type of things. I don't know if it's just me, or I was meant to be like this, or because of what I went through, maybe like this. But I'm gonna be very honest. I feel as though that spiritually, whether I'm in this vessel, in this body, here in another life, I'm still going to feel and think the same way. So my past could have made me to think like this, but regardless of anything, I was going to think like this. It's me, it's who I am. I'm against all that. Ever since I was little, I was the type of person that sat here and liked at helping people. I used to get in trouble because, listen, when we used to go into these restaurants, and they used to buy me a meal or something, I used to go out. I used to see a homeless person. Yes, these were homeless persons, people back in the days. Homeless people back in the days. I used to get yelled at. Huh, here, what you gonna eat now? Don't ask me to buy you anything. Da, 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 da. Take out some money. Next person that I saw that was homeless. Huh. As I got older, what's crazy is it was a little hard for me to tell the difference between a homeless person and an addict person that's in the streets. Then now that I'm way, way older and I've dealt with people that have addictions, dealt with people that have actually lost their houses. I've been out in these streets like that. I could actually separate the two. When I was young, I couldn't. But the the heart, the I don't know, the person in me couldn't see somebody out there hungry. And it's crazy thinking back then, I could sit here and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Now I know why a lot of them would sit here and I'm like, yo, take the food. They didn't want the food. I couldn't give them money at times, and I couldn't understand why they would get pissed off and snap and lash out oh, I'm giving you something. You saying you hungry, you want money to go eat. I actually got a whole meal that hasn't been touched that I just bought. And now I have no money. Take this. So now that I'm older, I'm like, yo, now I could tell the difference. Back then I couldn't. I've always had a big heart. And at times growing up, I used to be confused with somebody that wanted to give because they wanted to give from the heart, or somebody that was given because they knew what my weakness was and I had to pay something back. And trust me, for a while I fought. I was always confused, like, yo, why these old heads look at me the way they look at me? Why these old heads talk to me the way they talk to me? And I'm saying, like, y'all older than me. Y'all disgusting. Y'all gross me out. And I'm saying, I'm listening, right? And I'm like, yo, a lot of these young ladies have the same type of story. They've been through the same situation. And I'm saying, I'm like, when I was young, I didn't have nobody to help me or guide me in reality. I had a lot of people talk to me, but I didn't understand where they was coming from and why they were saying the things they were saying it, because they wasn't direct with me. So as I got older, everything they said was in the back of my head, and it was like it was like a conscience to me. Something would happen, whatever they said would come to me, like, and I would think about it. I'm like, oh damn, this is why this person was giving me a warning. They wasn't just giving me advice. They were also throwing the warnings out there, showing me what the red flags was. But I wasn't paying attention because in my mind, I could do it by myself. I don't need your help. You want something in return. The same way that I felt, with the person that did what they did to me. Let me tell y'all something, right? I understand a lot of these young men that have been abused out here. I understand a lot of these young ladies that have been abused out here, and they can't find somebody that they could talk to. And when I listen to their stories, I'll be like, damn. And a lot of them are worse than what I've been through. See, I was sexually assaulted. I was sexually abused by I don't even call him dad. I don't call him father. He, to me, is not my stepfather. He's my mom's husband. That man cannot be called a stepfather A stepfather, a real stepfather, has the privilege to even be called father. Some kids don't even care. I'm like, yo, he's not my stepdad. He's my father. He raised me. That person right there that married my mom is a monster. To me, in my eyes, that man, his whole life, and what's crazy is, my whole life I called that man Freddy Krueger. And what's funny is, if you go look at these movies, Nightmare on Elm Street and shit, they'll explain to you, they'll show you, yo, it's crazy that I called the man Freddy Krueger not knowing and understanding a movie that I watched. Because I didn't understand that movie when I was young. I did not know that them kids were being touched by a man when they was, in school. And now that I'm older, I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, I was really comparing this man to this man, not knowing that their backgrounds were so similar. And that's what he is to me. That's the man that haunted my nightmares every night after I left my mom's house. It's crazy. This place right here where y'all see me sitting at, a couple years back, I couldn't walk into this house. The memories wouldn't let me. When these memories would come to me or something would trigger something that I didn't even remember or want to remember, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, the things I wanted to do and say to this person, it's like, it's crazy. Because the pain, I was still feeling it. The images I saw in my head when I used to walk in through that door felt so real. That's trauma. That's PTSD. I had to fight and learn how to come back into this house. The house where I went through everything that I went through. And I'm sitting here telling y'all this story like this because I'm able to tell it to y'all calm. The first time I said it, it wasn't easy. It's not easy because just imagine, just picture trying to sit here and talk about and trying to figure out how not to go into details about something that you went through that caused you so much pain, and you're trying to figure out how to hold back those tears. It's not something easy. So I understand where a lot of these people are coming from when they say, yo, I want to speak on my story. I want to, show the next person that we can overcome these type of situations, and we can. But how can they when as soon as they start speaking, you got 100 people right there on the other side of the screen coming at them and talking mad crap? It's not easy. Before you sit here and judge a book by its cover, listen and pay attention. Because through their story, you could tell if they telling the truth or they telling a lie. See, it took me a minute, and I've talked on my story time after time, and I'm telling y'all that's why it's a little easier for me to speak on it, and it's not so easy. It's still not so easy like a lot of people think, because speaking on a story or speaking on a trauma that you've been through, right, and you figured out how to overcome, still brings back pain. Like the first time I walked into this house after years of not coming into this house, I sat here and I walked in here and I'm like, I had to close my eyes and try to like, yo, this happened a long time ago. You need to forget about it. Let bygones be bygones. You forgave your mom. This is who you're here for. You're here for your mom. You're not here for that person that did what they did to you. You're here for her. She's the one that needs you. I had to learn how to really forgive my mom. But not just that. In order to be in this house to help my mother, I had to learn how to love myself because I had started hating myself. I didn't like the person that I was looking at in the mirror. I thought that because of what this person did to me, I was disgusting. Like I used to take up to, listen, man, lie to y'all, not up to 5 showers a day. 5 showers a day. I wanted to feel clean because I felt dirty. And I felt like that for a long time, even with my first baby dad. What I went through, I could say in a way kind of messed up my relationship with him. And age had a big factor to do with that, yes. But the biggest factor in our relationship was that I didn't know how to deal with the trauma that I went through. And then when we go and bump heads and do with that, he would pay for the mistakes of something that he didn't do. These mistakes that he was paying for was the mistakes of somebody else. But I could never ever make this person pay for what he did. This person till this day is still walking free because of a mistake that my mom did. My mom had the chance to sit here and put this man away when I testified in court. The judge believed me, the lawyers believed me. They gave me an order of protection against this man. He was not allowed to come around me until I turned the age of 21. He was not allowed to come around this property. I had a whole order of protection. When they told him to leave, he never came back. It's crazy because I had witnesses, but my mom, scared because this is somebody that was an immigrant, held back. She took everything back and she left me in a hole. And I looked at her like, you turned your back on me over a man? You really turned your back on me over a man and I needed you now? They was going to put him away and you sat here and they said, he's going to get deported back to Mexico. You said, no, this didn't happen. And you took everything back and made me look like a liar. And when I lashed out, my mama 302 to me. They had me in a straitjacket, made me looking out like I was crazy. That was the day that my mom started collecting social SSI for me. And I never knew about it until I had my first kid. That's the crazy part about it. Blessings, the word, how you doing? Blessings. Yeah, I was trying to share it live on Discord. I don't know what the heck I did. I think I shared it on people's inbox by accident. I hope I did it right. But I got it. But yeah. Guys, if y'all haven't, make sure y'all check the word out. Word, if you can, leave your link right here. Yo, y'all gotta check the word out, especially if y'all want to know about history, about, a lot of things. Yo, word's perspective about so many things that are going around us. Listen, y'all gotta hear him for yourself. But going back on topic, y'all, my history with my mom wasn't an easy one, but I tried. Like I really tried, and that to me showed me that when I was young, I couldn't understand why my mom was the way it was, and now that I'm older, I could understand that she went through a lot of trauma herself. She was young when she, got with my dad. My dad was way older. And it's crazy. I could see why she let me get in the type of relationship that I got in when I was the age I was. It is just crazy. If you sit here, our backgrounds, a lot of us ain't perfect. So I can't sit here and say, oh, you're lying about this, you lying about that. For the simple fact that I've personally seen women sit here and say, this man raped me. And this man never did nothing to her. This man is in jail doing time when he's never laid a finger on her, all because she was mad about whatever happened throughout a situation and she took it out on this man. But it does happen and I've seen it. Like I had to sit here and see myself that not a lot of people out here been through the same shit that I've been through. A lot of them take stories from other people and portray it to be theirs. And that's something messed up. I've seen it here on social media. I've seen it out there in person. How can somebody do that? How can somebody be so cruel and cold to do that? I don't know. Why would you want to have somebody think that what this person went through is what you went through? People out there that's sick and they do it. But going back on topic, y'all. Like I was telling y'all, listen, man. The life with my mom wasn't easy. And all I needed my mom to do was support me. All I needed my mom to do was trust me and protect me. My mom witnessed things that she could have said in court, but she didn't. All because why? That money. And it's messed up to say, like, my mom, yes, she was more of a woman at times than what she was a mother. And that's why to this day I vow to be more of a mother than a woman to my kids. That's why to this day I vow that I'm going to be a mother than a friend to my kids. I'm not looking to be kids' best friend. I'm going to be their friend at times when they need me to, I got to sit here. I got to listen to their stories. I got to hear them out because I got to separate the mom, the strict person, for 1 second and listen to what they're saying and put myself in their shoes for 1 second. For 1 second, I got to sit here and listen to their story to know if they telling me the truth or not. And as a mother, the protective side is going to come out. Facts, 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 facts word. And it's happening a lot. I'm here today and I am talking again on my story because I was asked by a lot of, let's put it like this. A lot of these young ladies out here look for people. And why, I don't know why a lot of people come to me. I've had men come to me and talk to me about, their personal issues. And what's crazy is instead of me speaking on their story, because they're not ready for it, I'll speak on mine. My story is not up no more on my main page. And I am going to put it over here because I'm not ashamed of how I spoke on my story the first time. I was hurt when I spoke on it. I was really hurting. When I spoke on my story, I was in a place where, like, I just needed to let it out. It didn't matter how, but it needed to come out. Because if I didn't let that out, I could have probably reacted on everything that I was feeling. And it's like that. Like, you need to let it out. Fuck what people think. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. But listen, man, screw what people think. What they think shouldn't matter to us when we're speaking about something that's real. When we're speaking about something that we've been through. Unless they've walked a mile in our shoes, what they think about us shouldn't matter. Unless they got some advice, what they think about us shouldn't matter. For real, for real. Because they would have to sit here and hear you out before they judge you, and people judge you before they hear you out. You know what I've noticed? Even with me putting my story out there, people don't listen to the whole story and they'll sit here and jump to conclusions. And they'll sit here and twist it up and come up with whatever they want to come up and speak. Go ahead. Regardless of anything, I know what I went through. You wasn't there. Regardless of anything, I know that what I'm saying is going to help the next person because I'm not just speaking on what I went through. I'm actually speaking on how I overcame the situation. And that's what we need these kids to hear. There are ways to overcome these situations. They're thinking that there's no way that they could overcome the situation. They're thinking that popping pills, drinking, and, going out there and lashing out is the best way to go about the situation. And it's not. And us, the ones that have been through it, should know better. But you know what? A lot of us act worse than the kids out here. That's the crazy part. Y'all would sit here and protect the predator and bash the victim. And what's crazy is when y'all find out that y'all messed up, y'all want people to sit here and feel sympathy. Y'all want people to sit here and feel petty. That wasn't a mistake. Y'all did that because y'all wanted to be cruel, because y'all wanted to, y'all 5 minutes, 15 minutes of fame for 1 second. And that's not how it should be done. Because the ones y'all should be coming at and doing all that shit to, y'all don't. It's like y'all scared of these predators out here. That's the funny part. And I know that personally because I once came at one. And when I tell you the last fact that I got here on social media, I'm sitting here, I'm like, how can y'all not tell by the way this person is talking that he is this way? You could tell when you're looking at somebody through the screen. I got two screens right now, the laptop and this main screen, right? And if right here, I can't really see, but if I come over here and I look at the screen that's bigger and I'm looking at the behavior, I'm looking at this person's eyes, everything, you could tell when somebody's lying. You could tell when somebody's telling the truth. You could tell when somebody's telling something that's coming right from the heart. But some people just don't give a fuck. I didn't mean to say it like that, but I had to say it like that because it's the truth. How can y'all sit here and make fun of somebody that's sitting here trying to find a way to let it out? I've been there, done that. So it's not hard for me to sit here and say, yo, I can't go into details, right? Into what was done to me. But I'm going to sit here and say that it wasn't easy, right? It wasn't easy being a little kid, not knowing the things that was being done to you and why they were being done to you. Not knowing that people that are older than you that are supposed to protect you are not supposed to do these things to you. And when you ask and when you try to figure out what's going on, the person that you love gets hurt. Because I'm telling y'all, like, yo, I used to try to figure out why. Why was it that this man would sit here and wait for my mom to leave, to sit here and just come and drag me from my bed? Because the rooms here, these are 2-story houses with basements, right? And back then, before my mom started fixing the houses, it's 3 rooms, bathroom upstairs. The first 2 rooms, the main room and the middle room, had a door that would connect that you could walk in and you could check on the kids if you had to, whatever. It's not a closet. It was actually a door. You could open it, main room, you're into the parents' room, open it. And then you also had the door to go into the hallways on both rooms. So he would wait for my mom to leave, go to work, do whatever she had to do. Yo, imagine. Like, that's the hardest thing. Like, yo, when I first said this, those are the type of words that came out my. But all I can say is, look, listen, man. I can never forget the times this man would drag me out. And I don't want nobody to ever feel what I felt. Like, it was hard for me to get them pictures out of my head, especially the ones that I forgot. And when I would come into this house, something would trigger it and I would remember. And I'm sitting here like, yo, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to remember this because it caused me so much pain. But this was a man that would sit here and drag a child from her feet out her bed into another room and start doing things to her while she kicked, while she screamed, while she shouted. She didn't want it. She didn't know what was going on. Her brother would come in. Y'all know that my brother wasn't born with schizophrenia though? It skipped my brother. But what happened was them knocks to the head that he got defending me, them hits to the head. At times he would get 10 to 20 staples in the head because he would bash his head in so that he wouldn't speak, so he could put fear in me so I wouldn't talk. That's how he would get me to shut up. There was a time where I spoke up and I thought I was doing the right thing. I spoke up. I went to a school, right? And what's crazy is that morning he had woke up. He came downstairs. I was sitting down. I was making my brother's breakfast, his breakfast. I was getting myself together for school. My brother was getting himself together for school. And he's coming down and he's trying to do what he does. He starts putting his hands inside my chest. Around that time, I was 8 years old. Period. Crazy as shit. Yes, period. And I was developing breast. And he started doing, started just doing. I'm not going to go into details. My brother comes down the steps and he stops him. He pulls out this big Mexican belt. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, y'all can go Google that shit. It's a real big Mexican belt. Thick. Like it's made out of like skin with a buckle. About this big that said Mexico right across it. Then first time I got up and I got in the middle of it. I started cursing him out and I started kicking and he went trying to hit my brother again. He caught me. I went to the school that day with marks on my arm. They called DHS. That was the first time ever that I spoke up. And when DHS came to the house, I had to lie. Because my mom put fear in me. And now I was scared. Because I thought that if they took him, they would lock her up. She knew what was going on. And she not once spoke up. And when people say, why is your friendship, why your friendship with your mom is like, It's like that because of how she brought us up, how she raised us. So I can understand when a child out here or when a woman or a man comes up to me and says, yo, I went through this in my household and I don't know who to go to. How can I talk about this? It's not something easy to talk about. It's the hardest thing to talk about. It is so hard that at times people can't even get one word out. And that's how I was when I first came on here. It was hard for me. I was talking, I was saying what I had to say, but not like this. Like, speaking on sexual assault is the hardest thing to speak on. And when I tell y'all that when I spoke on this situation a few years back, before I sat here and spoke on the situation online, I had to kind of speak to my kids and explain to them what I went through. I had to, because it was going to get to them. And I didn't want to traumatize them. So I had to break this down. That's why it was kind of like also hard for me to speak on camera when I spoke on it, because I had to break this down to two kids, a preteen and a kid. Like, I think my youngest at the time was 7, 8 years old. And I didn't go into details, but I had to break it down in a way that they could understand. Going into details, never. I don't think I know a person that could sit here and go into details about their sexual assault and somebody could actually understand where they're coming from. I don't think that the audience wants to picture what a grown man has actually done to a little child. I don't want to keep picturing it. Talking about it is hard when you're trying to block out them images you don't want to see as you're speaking on it. So I'm trying to get y'all to understand that a survivor speaking on their story, y'all think it's something easy and it's not. But they doing it because they're being selfless. They're not being selfish. They're being selfless. They're trying to help the next person. They're trying to motivate the next person come out whatever ditch they jumped into, whatever hole they buried themselves into, trying to, give a leaning hand, trying to help them, grab them, trying to help them come out whatever waters they're drowning from. That's what they're doing. That's what we're doing when we speak on these type of stories. We don't want people to sit here and imagine, what I went through wasn't easy. I don't want y'all to picture that. I had to sit here and defend myself every night and every morning against a predator. I was forced to sit here. And it's crazy because it's something I don't like to talk about, but I'm going to be very honest. See, a lot of females talk about, oh, they love giving head, they love doing this. And some might laugh because of the way I just said it. But, I'm trying not to be so serious as I go and I speak on this. But when you're forced to do that, and you're a child and you're sitting here, now that I'm older, these predators is nasty. To watch a child actually gag and throw up and still force them to do some stuff like that. I understand where a lot of these kids, a lot of these women, and a lot of these men are coming from. There's a lot of things, and I'm not going to go into details, but there is a lot of things that I can't do sexually like a lot of people can because of what I've been through. And I'm not saying I got a fucked up sex life. It's just that I'm not as sexually active as a lot of these females are out here. And I know that a lot of females that have gone through this type of trauma, and I'm not ashamed to say it. That's why when you see all these niggas out there hit on me, and I'm like, I already know what you want. You don't turn me on. You don't wet my panties. Sorry to say it. I've been through a lot. I need a man that is smart. I need a man that, listen, even if you're from the streets, have that little nerdy side in you. Yeah, and a lot of us love that. I don't know why a lot of these men, little boys and men bodies keep thinking that they could just walk up to a female and think she's just an easy female. Oh, she's been through hard times. She's been that. Not every female is going to sit here and just give it up that easy, regardless of anything. Just because somebody's had a hard time, somebody's had a rough life, somebody's been through it, doesn't make this female itch, doesn't make this female a whole, doesn't make this female a thought. A lot of them got they together because of what they've been through. A lot of them don't. A lot of females take the wrong path. A lot of men take the wrong path. And you could actually, it's logic. You could see why they took that path. A lot of them didn't have the right support or didn't know how to come out of the situation they was coming into. Me personally, I'm not going to sit here and lie. I had people try to help me. I had people try to reach out to me. Just because I at the moment didn't understand, just because I at the moment couldn't tell what they was doing, doesn't mean that no, it didn't happen. Yes, it did. I was being hard-headed. I was reacting out of anger. I was reacting out of that pain. But you know what I do now? Now what I do is I turn that pain into motivation. I don't sit here and lash out on it no more. Now I can sit here and I can think like, okay, I went through this. How can I overcome this? What can I do to sit here, especially when I get them triggers? Yeah, I still get them. Listen, I may have won a battle, but I didn't win the war. And when you get trauma, you get PTSD, and a lot of us have it. I ain't going to sit here and lie. All I see is female doctors. All I see is female therapists. If it's not a female, I don't feel comfortable. And there's a lot of men, there's a lot of women out there that is like that. Don't listen, man. There's no shame in your game. There's no shame in my game. I'm being real honest and I'm out there with it. Like, look, listen, man. You want to sit here, you want to talk about it, we could talk about it. Like, you see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not going to sit here and judge you because you went through this. That's not how it should be. When somebody comes up to you and talks about situations like this, you should not bash them. Take the time. Listen to them so that you can figure out how you could talk to them. And it's crazy that a lot of people out here are taking, sexual assault, that little teal ribbon, as a game. That's not a game. Stop joking around with it. Stop playing with it because there's people out here that are actually going through it. I hear the stories out here. And I can sit here and I'm like, damn, I can relate to a lot of them. We could sit here and we could talk about a lot of things. Why can't we just cut it down the middle? Right is right, wrong is wrong. That's it. As simple as that. But a lot of people don't want to. And like I told y'all, it's going to be part 1 of story time. We're going to be reacting to some, I got a video that I want to show y'all. Is tips for, survivors and stuff like that. So I got some videos that I found online of survivors. And, they talk on their stories and how they overcome their situation. And like I told y'all, it's not easy. A lot of these people can't do it. What makes y'all think that a little kid is going to do it like this? And for y'all that, that don't understand, listen, a lot of kids that become survivors, even when they hit their 20s, right? And they grow up and they're going through that teenage phase, and then they go through, they go through that stage where they hit like 20, maybe 25, they still vulnerable. Y'all need to realize that they still trying to figure out a lot of stuff. Even the adults that go through it, they go through sexual assault, any type of sexual assault. A lot of them have to sit here and restart their life over again because now they have to adjust to certain things that, they do things differently than they did before. And it's crazy. Like, it's hard to explain, but I could sit here and to tell you that as a survivor, you can do normal things. You can have you can have a normal relationship with somebody out here. You can sit here and put that shield down with somebody. No, not with everybody. No, you cannot trust everybody. But there are people out here that do want what's best for you. There are people out here that are willing to sit here and help you. Just because your family screwed you over or just because your friend screwed you over doesn't mean that this person over here is going to do the same thing. And it took me a minute to realize that because I used to, shut the door on everybody's face, come at them, like, yell at them. Like, I used to, listen, man, I was listen, my mouth. This Rachel right here that y'all see is a calm, cool, collected Rachel. That Rachel back in the day, that's that Rachel that y'all don't want to see because y'all hear my mouth sometimes, how it gets. I have a potty mouth sometimes. But I'm outspoken and I'm going to speak my mind. I could accept now that I'm older when I'm wrong. You see what I'm coming? That's a big difference. But I have a mouth that'll sit here and hurt the crap out of somebody. And I've done it by accident, not wanting to. I've done it. There's times I'm not sit here and I'll take that. I'll take that. I didn't mean to, but that's how it came out. That's what happens sometimes. Like, listen, how we react sometimes when, we're treated a certain way, sometimes we can't help it. And a lot of people don't realize that. Best thing I could tell a lot of people is, listen, man, we fight our demons in the same hell in different ways. Right? And for a lot of y'all, listen, let me take a minute. Let me let y'all know I got my Facebook down there in the chat. I got my email. I got my TikTok. And for those of y'all, and if anybody, my bad, I forgot to say this because I'm about to start the reaction videos. I'm going to do a part 2 and talk on my story a little more. But I don't want to go, I just gave y'all a little bit, a little bit right there when I was young, what, my mom's husband kind of did to me, and stuff like that. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. It took years of therapy for me to sit here and actually understand what I was going through and why I was lashing out the way I was lashing out, why I was treating people the way I was treating them. And to be honest, it took for me to learn how to love myself. Because like I told y'all, for a while, I felt like I was dirty. I felt like I wasn't worth it. I felt like I was used. Like, why would this person do this to me? Why would this person mess my insides up? Why would this person sit here and make me feel the way I felt? Like, it was painful. It hurted. I didn't want it. I didn't like it. I hated it. And now that I'm older, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, because I have conversations and I hear it. Like, a lot of these kids ain't no different. Their thoughts ain't no different from mine from when I was younger. They want to react. They want to sit here and they want to do the things that go through their head. Like, I've sat here and I've heard somebody tell me, yo, I wanted to just grab the knife off the table and just whoop, 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 whoop. Yo, I feel you, man. That's what happens when you're in a nightmare with Freddy. For real. You know how I overcame a lot of that stuff? How I turned that pain into motivation? I started writing poems. When I was going to therapy, I had 2 therapists tell me, write it down. She said, if you don't want to write down exactly what you went through, she said, write a poem. Put your feelings into a poem. And what's crazy is that growing up, a lot of my poems were very gothic. A lot of my poems were very dark. You will read them and you'll be like, yo, is you okay? You want to sit? You want to talk? I'm like, no, I'm good. I got this. Because I was already letting it out in a piece of paper. And that's what I'm starting to do again. When I feel like I'm down, when I'm depressed and stuff like that, I'll sit here, I'll start writing and I'll start writing. And that's how I came up with that poem that I just recently did. Like, I've been hearing a lot of stories about sexual assault in different ways. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, men, women, kids. And I'm like, how can I talk to y'all? How can I speak to y'all when I'm still also trying to figure out a lot on my own? I could speak on my story, and the best thing I could tell you is, listen, man, therapy. Because I had to go through years of therapy. The last time I went to therapy, I was 25 years old. 25. And it's because I stopped going to therapy because I had to start working heavy. I had to start working real hard. I had to start working 2 times more than what I was working before. And imagine you don't have a diploma, you're going through this, you're going through that. And at the same time, you're trying to get help from your mom, but your mom is so focused on this and that it's like, all right, screw it. I got this. I'm going to show her that I could do it on my own. Yes, I was that kid. You know what? I don't need you for nothing. Watch me. And I did it. Every single thing I said I was going to do, I did it just to prove her wrong, just to show her. Oh, she like, you're going to be just like me. You're going to let your kids go through this. I'm like, no, I'm not. Watch me. And everything I said, I did it. and I proved her wrong. I didn't want to be her. I didn't want to become like her. I wanted to be the complete opposite. I said it over and over when I was young. Yo, I'm going to break the chains. I'm going to be the one that brings the chains to society and be who I'm really meant to be. And it's taken me a minute. Like, yo, I want y'all to understand that we all go through these obstacles, and it could be a test. I've been told time after time through them real old heads, through them real OGs out there. And I'm talking about my real old heads. I'm talking about them, them old people as y'all call them. But I'm talking about the ones with the wisdom, the knowledge that been through that been through stuff, that have walked them trenches. The advice that they give you, at times you won't understand it. And they'll sit here and give you a riddle. And you're trying to figure this out, like, you give up on it until you go through some shit and you'll be like, let this old head just riddle me this. And it took me like years to figure it out. Like if I was trying to find out where Waldo is at. Yeah, that's how it be. That's why I love these old heads. Because regardless of anything, whether you get what they're telling you right there at that moment, you'll get it afterwards. And I've been blessed. I've been blessed that I've had old heads pull me by the ear and say, yo, shorty, your shit stink. What the hell do you think you're doing? I've been blessed. I could sit here and honestly say that. I ain't mad. Why get mad at these old heads that are trying to spread that knowledge to me? Trying to tell me, look, listen, man, if you try it this way, it might be beneficial for you. It might work out for you. If you do it this way, you're going to end up sinking yourself in a bigger hole. So, yeah, these old heads got a lot of knowledge, and we just don't even listen, man. A lot of these old heads have been through a lot of the stuff that we've probably been through, or probably worse, and they have figured out ways to overcome their situations. So, like, yo, like I said, we're going to have a part 2 to this, and we're going to keep talking a little bit more on story time, and I'm going to let y'all know a little bit of what I've been through with that man, how I overcame the situation with my mom. And trust me and my mom had, I would say, a love-hate relationship. I loved her. I just wanted her, attention. I wanted to figure out, how to, get her to, like, yo, notice you got 5 kids. You see where I'm coming from? Like, yo, we want your love. We want your affection. Can you talk to us? Can you listen to us? Can you trust us? But all 5 of her kids got almost the same treatment, but one. It's crazy. That's why I said I'll go more into detail, story time, into that. But we're going to react. I'm going to show y'all some videos of survivors out here, right? And like I said, the whole purpose of this is to let y'all know, look, listen, man, Speak your truth. Speak on your story. There's always going to be a hater out there. There's always going to be somebody that's going to say something, regardless of anything. Say what you got to say. Don't be scared because this person is going to bring you down. They're going to bash you, man. I've been there, done that. You know what it's going to do? Let me tell you what it's going to do. When somebody comes at you, when somebody brings you down, when somebody bashes you, the only thing that's going to do is make you stronger. You as a survivor, you're going to be stronger. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be able to speak on your story the next time, probably a little better, with more heart. Because what they don't realize is, what these people don't realize is that they're nothing more than just bullies when they sit here and they try to bring somebody down that's trying to speak their truth. Like, people don't understand it. Y'all don't know how it is to sit here and, be in a nightmare. Y'all don't know how it is to feel, to live a nightmare time after time and not be able to get out of it, not know how to get out of it because you're stuck. Because you're sitting here and you're fighting yourself. At times, we can be our own worst enemy. Shuffle to a bed, life filled with derision. But now I rise, I'm merged against my own fright. No longer bound, I'm ready to face the fight. Growing up. I want y'all to listen. In the shadow of my dreams, I was confined a prisoner of my own mind. So yeah, as y'all can see, came up with the poem. I've uploaded it on my channel for those of y'all that want to hear it. Yo, we all have had a nightmare with Freddie. We've all felt like we've been chained to a bed in a nightmare that we can never come out of. We think we woke, and we're right back in that same nightmare, and we haven't even woken up yet. When you do wake up, you just wake up in cold sweat and tears, thinking that what you was just going through is real, not realizing that at that moment you're still laying in your bed in the house in a different time, in a different, like, yo, it's crazy. Like, We need to see that. We need to get out of that shell. We need to break them chains because we can survive. We can't become warriors. We can fight these obstacles that are, in our way. And I see it as, all right, this is a test that was given to us. Why? I yet have not figured out the answer. I'm not God. I've been stopped questioning God a long time ago. Like, whatever it is I'm meant to do, I'm doing it. I'm not where I want to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm right here. I'm where I'm meant to be. Why? As I go, I will find out. Just as I figured out everything else that has happened to me, around me, and to those that I love. Because what's crazy is throughout time, you do figure out what's going on and what's happening if you take the time to listen, if you take the time to do your research. And all of us can sit here and overcome all these things that we think that we cannot overcome. Y'all, I don't know how many of y'all remember old heads back in the days. They used to say, yo, don't say no. Don't say I can't. Don't. Those words do not belong in your vocabulary. You should not be thinking like that. Get it out get it out your mind. Stop saying that you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You don't know how to do this. You won't be able to do this. Say you can. Say you will. Say you're going to. You'll be able to overcome a lot of these obstacles. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but listen, man, there's people out here that are going through it right now. There are people right now at this moment, at this second, and it's messed up to say it, that are going through a sexual assault. Later on in the news, later on social media, or later on, you're going to hear somebody trying to, speak on their story, speak on their truth, and, try to figure out how they could overcome this situation and ask for advice. And it's happening every day, every second of the hour, every minute of the hour. Like, yo, you hear it. There's a story out there of this happening. Y'all just don't get it. Stop treating everybody like crap, because there's people out there that are speaking because they actually do need somebody to let it out to, and they don't know who. And when they come onto social media, right, a lot of them ain't expecting to, come across people that's going to sit here and treat them like trash or bash them. They're probably in the hopes of, all right, look, listen, man, somebody that'll sit here and give them some advice, probably guide them into, some therapy group or some anonymous type of listen, you never know. Somebody could sit here and tell them, look, listen, I went through this and this is what I did. You see where I'm coming from? Like, yo, you never know how your story could impact the next person. So let's take a minute. I found these these little clips here on Google. And there's a lot of people out here that are, that speak on their truth and speak on how they overcome their situations. Don't ever be ashamed of speaking your truth and telling people how you feel. I don't know what the heck is that. My Bluetooth picked up on somebody's headphones. That's some weird stuff. All right, so let's watch this video. Let's react to this real quick.
I'm in an ocean, and there's too much water. And there's this horrible retching, gagging noise, and I can't breathe. I think that I'm dying. It hurts so bad. I think that I'm dying. And that is what I remember about what it felt like to be raped. In the United States of America, someone is sexually assaulted every 98 seconds. So before you zone out in the assumption that you've heard all of this,
like I just told y'all, at every second of the hour, there's somebody being sexually assaulted and we don't know who it is. So for those people out here bashing those people, y'all need to think about it twice, because when it happens to someone y'all love, that's when y'all want your voice to be heard. And then y'all get mad when the you is pulled on you. But in reality, what it is karma knocking at your door.
This before, or that this is unrelated to you, don't. It is extremely likely that you know someone who has been sexually assaulted or raped, whether or not you are aware of it. Before I move on, I want to make it very clear that I do not speak for everyone. Thanks to the Me Too movement, sexual assault has become a national conversation. Today, I hope to discuss some of the effects of sexual assault that aren't talked about as frequently and how to overcome them. But I first want to acknowledge that every rape survivor and every person has had a different experience than I. What I say today may only apply to me, but I hope that by sharing my experiences, I can help someone, or at least allow them to view rape and the mental illnesses that it may cause in a different light. Something that isn't often talked about is that rape is very different from many other crimes because the victim can never really leave the scene of the crime. The most private parts of you have been attacked, and you may never truly feel the same again. Today, I am going to tell you how I believe that I've changed my mentality from a victim of rape to a survivor of rape. But I am not going to pretend that it doesn't still affect me. I don't always feel like a survivor, and that is okay. Becoming a survivor is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing battle that often feels uphill for weeks, months,
and that's why I told y'all it's not easy battling this. It's not something that's easy to talk about. And when the people are ready to talk about it, let them talk about it. If you got something to say, wait until they're done. Take the time and listen to what they're saying before you sit here and you judge that book by its cover.
Even years, you will struggle with the memories and how you feel that they have changed you. But you will learn to cope with them. Coping with trauma is not easy, but it is possible. By definition, a victim is a person who has been harmed emotionally or physically as a result of a crime. And by definition, I am a victim. And I want to emphasize that there is nothing wrong with being a victim. And it is certainly never the victim's fault that they have been victimized. The reason that I decided I wanted to change my mentality from that of a victim to that of survivor is because I didn't like the way that it felt to be a victim. It's not a good feeling.
It's not. For me, it was when people found out my situation, how they felt bad. They wanted to, give me pity. Like, no, don't do that. I had enough of that. I got this. Like, and that made me want to do it even more. Like, stand up for myself. Speak up for myself. Like, don't feel pity for me. Like, I didn't understand what was happening to me, but the anger that I had in me was turning into hate towards this person. And if I wouldn't have listened to what my therapist was telling me, I could have sat here and been behind bars at a young age. I'm being very honest. Because when people find out what you go through, especially like that, they find out that you've been through some type of sexual assault. A lot of people, some would sit here and try to give pity. Others would try to sit here and challenge you. Prove it to me. How, if this did happen to me, why you're not like this? If this happened to you, you got to be a dyke. You got to be. There's people that sit here and try to challenge. And I'm saying, I'm like, yo, if you only knew what was going through my mind, oh, I'm telling you. That's crazy because people can make you feel like that.
I became a survivor by recognizing that while I had been victimized, while someone at some point in my life had held power over me, they no longer held that power over me, which means that I no longer have to feel like a victim. But this change in my mentality did not occur overnight. As I said before, becoming a survivor is a long and ongoing process. A huge part of this change in my thinking was the question of why. When something terrible and traumatizing happens to a person, the first question that often comes to mind is why? Why did this happen to me? And what did I do to cause it? Blaming yourself and thinking about what you should have done differently in that situation is unfortunately very common. A big part of becoming a survivor is recognizing that there is no rational reason that human beings hurt other human beings. And even if there was, it would not change what happened to you. And it would certainly not change how you are recovering from it.
Facts. Everything she just said, total facts. Like, listen and pay attention carefully.
In order to truly heal, you need to stop asking yourself why something happened to you. You need to accept that there is no answer to this question.
That's the truth. In order for me to heal, I had to accept that. Like, I'm not ever going to understand why this man chose me, why this man chose my brother so that he could do the things that he did. Because I wasn't alone in this fight. He also did certain things to my brother. And it was crazy is my brother right now cannot even speak on it because he's deceased. He's not here no more. He can't even speak on his story. And I can't speak on his story because it's his story to speak on. But most I can say is, yeah, I wasn't the only one he did it to. It's been a couple kids that he was, but at the end of the day, when we had the how can I say it? When we had the time to get justice, it wasn't done right. And we was just kids to even understand or figure out how to get the proper justice at that time. It's the crazy part.
Coming to this realization was one of the most difficult things that I have ever done. For me, healing from my sexual assault would not have been possible without talking about it. Unfortunately, the majority of people are very uncomfortable talking about sexual assault and rape, which is understandable. It's a difficult topic to talk about, especially.
Facts. It's going to be a difficult topic to talk about, especially depending on what you went through and how you went through it. That's why at times when people are like, I've had people, can I get the details? I'm not going to go into details. One, how can I go into the details without breaking down crying because it's painful? Like, I can't, but I can go around. I can actually speak on the situation, right? And leave them details that are horrific out. I would have to. I wouldn't be able to speak on it.
Especially like for people who have experienced it. But the few people that do want to hear your story, they want to know every gory detail or they don't believe you. They want to know who did it, when it happened, where it happened, and then they want to pick apart each of your answers to these questions.
Facts. And there's people out here like that. Like, how can you do that? Like, you're re-traumatizing somebody. Do y'all not realize that? It's like having to go into court and speak on the whole story and go into details. You're reliving the situation. Y'all not understanding that part? You're making this person relive a nightmare all over again. Now, they're not just reliving it, right? When they reliving it, my bad, let me put it like this. When they're reliving this nightmare, now it's not just a thought. What they're seeing in their head, the images they're seeing actually feel real. When you're describing and going into details, you feel like you're at that moment in time. Who wants to go through that over and over again? And I know this because I've been there, done that. I went to court. I've had to repeat my story over and over again. My story didn't change. What happened with my situation was my mama messed up all for the love of the money. So that's the crazy part. Like, you'll see it when somebody's lying, their story will constantly change. It doesn't stay the same. It changes.
Most of all, the people that you share your story with have the same unanswerable question that you, the survivor, does. Why? Why did that happen to you? As we've already been over, there is no rational reason that human beings rape other human beings. But here is why I think so many people react to rape survivors in this way. People often don't believe stories of rape because it's simply easier not to. They would rather accuse the victim of being at fault because it supports the idea that rape could never happen to them.
Facts.
If people accept that rape is not the victim's fault, they are accepting that they could just as easily become victims of rape themselves. This allows them to feel secure in the illusion that rape is preventable. Thinking, I would have done this or I would have done that if I was put in this situation, gives people control, when in fact, rape victims have no control at all. People will find any way that they can to blame the victim, but this solves nothing. The only way we, as a society, can truly help victims of this horrible crime is by blaming the rapist, always, never the victim. As a result of the rapes that I've experienced, I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Unfortunately, this is extremely common among victims of rape and sexual assault. In fact, according to RAINN, our nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization, 94% of rape survivors experience symptoms of
And that's a fact. I was diagnosed with PTSD, bipolar depression, bipolar itself, and I forgot what else it was. It was something else that I was diagnosed with when I went through the traumatic experience that I went through. And trust me, I was in and out of the hospital. I tried to take my life so many times because I didn't want to be here. And the crazy part about my situation is I'm here. I did things that other people have done in front of me and they're gone. And I'm sitting here. I used to think like that. Now I'm like, yo, I must be here for a reason. Everybody keeps saying it. You're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. What the reason is, I stopped asking it a long time ago. I stopped. Listen, man, I stopped worrying about what happened in my past. It happened. I can't change I can't change back time. And knowing now what I know, give it to that younger me. Because if I knew, trust me, I would. But I can't. If I can go back to that younger me and say all the stuff that I know now, the younger me could have probably avoided what happened. But what is meant to happen is meant to happen. Why does it happen to little kids? Man, listen, man. You pay attention to the stories in the Bible that y'all love listening to so much. Y'all go back into the history books and all that. The kids were sacrificed back then, the babies and everything, for a lot of things. So for those of y'all that want to stay living in a fairy tale world, go ahead. My third eye is open. I'm woke. I'm not going to sit here and tell people, just go ahead and dwell, take pills, indulge in alcohol and just get screwed up and yeah, that's how you got to live. Just live life like that. No, there's more to life than just to getting high and sitting here and, having self-pity and trying to figure ways how to kill yourself and you don't die, or sitting here how to just keep being more depressed and more depressed because this person is saying this to you or saying that to you. A person that really cared for you, or a person that really, loves you, would sit here and try to help you come out that depression. They would sit here and have patience with you. They won't sit here and put pressure on you. Know what you went through? No. But they'll take the time and sit here and have patience with you to help you come out of whatever it is that you're going through. And they will help you. Like, there's no answers on why people, like she said, there's no answers. Nobody has the answer on why, a rapist would rape somebody, why a molester would molest somebody, why a pedophile looks at kids the way they do. The real answer is nowhere out there. But if we do deeper research and, put two and two together, we could probably figure it out ourselves, but it's going to take a decade, probably years. Listen, man, this is crazy though. We just really got to pay attention and listen. Listen. Because yes, there are people out there that don't have true stories and they'll sit here and play as a victim and they'll use sexual assault as their story and then mess it up for those out there that have really gone through it. That's the crazy part. And we can never answer why they did that. Why are they doing that? All I can sit here and say is that one thing that I've learned is there's only two sides to every story, good and evil. Where the side of good is fighting evil and the side of evil is fighting the side of good.
post-traumatic stress disorder 2 weeks after the violence occurs. 9 months after the assault, 30% of rape survivors still experience these symptoms, showing that it is an extremely common result of sexual assault. By far, the most difficult part of having PTSD for me is the memory loss. Some days I've convinced myself that I made up all of the trauma in my head. The devastation lies in the idea that I do not know all of what has happened to me. It makes me feel very vulnerable. It's on top of the trauma, there's this horrible unknowingness. Everything comes back in bits and pieces that don't always fit together. There are many things that can trigger a flashback to a memory. Loud noises, arguments, movies. However, most of the time, I don't even know what triggers a flashback. It can happen anywhere and anytime, and suddenly I am out of my body. I am quickly.
And that's a fact. That's a fact. For those of y'all that, don't know that much, listen, man, when I go through them panic attacks and everybody's like, what you was thinking? I wasn't thinking about nothing. I swear, like, yo, I'm sitting here, I could be doing schoolwork. I could be sitting here like editing a video, or I could be sitting here, how can I say, cleaning or cooking. I'm not thinking about the past, but for some reason, a million thoughts, a million memories, past, present, and future just pop up. And I'm sitting here, I'm trying to like calm and, slow down my thoughts. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, why am I thinking like this? What the heck is going on? Like, and then out of nowhere, here comes a memory. I'm like, this really happened? What happened? Like, oh, snap. And I'm saying, I'm like, yo, who can I talk to? And I can only talk about it to the people that know what I've been through to get any type of answers when I go through that. Because it's like, I gotta know, like, it feels so real, but I don't remember it. And yes, what's crazy is it's on black and white. I suffer from, what is it called? Repressed memories. I do have them. There has been throughout the years a lot of things that have sat here and triggered something from the past. And I'm saying, I'm like, yo, wow, I can't believe I really went through this. Damn, dog is about to have a whole run, little run. But yeah, like, remembering them type of memories is the worst thing. Like, nobody, like, unless you've been through this type of trauma, you won't understand what somebody that has been through sexual assault is feeling or thinking or going through.
Transported to a very painful time many years ago. The most difficult part of remembering is that it can be confusing and they don't usually come back as full memories.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just see flashes of things.
Like I just said.
The things that I'm experiencing don't make sense to the majority of people, and explaining them usually makes people uncomfortable.
Facts.
But I need to get them out of my head because I need to process my trauma in order to heal from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this, I have started a journal to write down the things that I remember. This way, I can process the way that they made me feel and finally begin to better heal from them.
Facts.
The different memories that I mentioned at the front or at the beginning of this conversation came directly from my journal. And as I'm sure you can see, they do not always paint the most vivid of a picture.
Mm-hmm.
They might not make any sense at all to someone who hasn't experienced them. However, writing down the things that I remember, no matter how.
And that's how it be. I think that the majority of the time, those that be sitting here and be bashing people are those that have never been through it, have never experienced it. And in their head, they just can't comprehend what somebody has been through. It's like a lot of people got in their head that there's no way possible that a man can get molested or a man can get raped. Yes, they can, especially if they're ganged up. And in jail, it happens a lot, especially if they, they be like, oh, a woman can't, grape a man. Yes, especially if she roofies him. A woman can grape a man. It has happened. There have been cases out there. But a lot of men don't want to speak on these stories because of how they get put down, how they get brought down. Oh, you're a man. You should have known what to do. You should have known how to fight. Well, if the man is drugged up, y'all telling me that he's going to fight his aggressors while he's drugged up? Whether it was a woman or a man that did it to him? Come on, let's make it make sense. If they're not in their right state of mind, how are they going to do it? If you not in your right state of mind, can somebody please be very honest with me? If you're not in your right state of mind, are you going to be able to fight an aggressor that's trying to sit here and do that to you? And then when you're teamed up and you're ganged up, tell me, how does that happen? Just because you're a man, you should have been able to fight it all, huh? Come on, I hear so many things out here. Y'all really need to get your priorities and your morals on check, yo, because y'all really think that this world is a certain way and it's not.
How insignificant they may seem to others helps me gain a little bit of power and control back from the people who hurt me. The
Blessings, young Riaz. Blessings. How you doing?
biggest lesson that trauma and PTSD have taught me is that there is a great power in being vulnerable and a great power in being comfortable with your vulnerability. I spent many years trying to shut out the things that happened to me. When memories flooded in, I distracted myself because it's painful to think about. But I've realized that the only way that I can heal from my trauma is to talk about it and learn from it. There is no logical reason that my abusers hurt me, but bottling it up inside only allows them to continue to have power over me. Talking about my trauma, even when it's difficult, allows me to gain my power back. A huge lesson that all of this has taught me is the importance of self-validation. As I stated before, it's upsettingly difficult to be believed and validated when you come forward. The first time that I came forward to someone about sexual assault was in 7th grade. I talked to a girl who I thought and considered at the time a very close friend. She responded by calling me a whore.
You know what's crazy? My story is a little similar. First time I ever spoke to anybody about what was going on to me, it wasn't in 7th grade though. Wasn't in 7th grade. I was in Roberto Clemente. Oh, we was close. Yeah, I was what, like 10 or 11? I think I was in I was 10 or 11. I was either on the 5th or the 6th grade, one of the two. So I was in Roberto, right? And when I spoke to one of the girls and I told her what was going on in my house, she wanted to help me. But at the time, I didn't want no help. I was already lashing out. I was angry. Listen, I wasn't even paying attention in my classes. I was going to sleep in class because I didn't want to go to sleep at home. I would be escaping from my house so that, he wouldn't do the things that he did to me when my mom would leave. So I was doing a lot of crazy stuff. I had started smoking cigarettes. I had, started doing stuff that I wasn't doing before. I started lashing out towards my elders and stuff like that. And me and this girl had spoke, and she came and she went to the counselor and she said something to the counselor. The counselor came and she called social services. I had to speak to, a social worker, and I'm thinking that I was safe. I decided to open up my mouth and say what was happening to me in the house. Boy, when I tell you that when I got home, they had told my mom that the social worker was coming and everything that I said, and my mom lashed out. My mom, the way she reacted towards me, I retracted everything that I had said in the school to the social worker. And the next day, she 302'd my ass. So it's crazy how, even you thinking that you're doing the right thing, the ones that you love at times make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. And that's crazy. It shouldn't be like that, but it is. And when I tell you that brought fear into me, because that man would sit here, and when I thought that, they're not going to do nothing. She took me out the house. All I kept thinking about was my brother. I kept thinking back when he did what he did years before that situation. And that was when I was 8 years old, when he had took out the belt and he had hit him, and then I had got in the middle and he had striked me. So it's kind of like, it took me back to those memories, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have never said nothing. But a mom is not supposed to do that. A mom is supposed to protect you. A mom is supposed to, but she didn't. So that confused me. And I was looking at her like, are you going to really let him hurt me? You going to really let him do this to me? Like, do you know what's going on? And what's crazy is, in my head till this day, because when she passed away, she couldn't explain what was happening. Because when she passed away, she had a tumor, and like she not just had a tumor, she was going back in time. Like in her mind, like there were times where my sister would go visit her in the hospital, and there was a time where she thought my sister was me. And she sat here and apologized to my sister, thinking that my sister was me, telling my sister all this stuff. And my sister was confused, like, when did this happen to me? How? Mom, like, da-da-da. I had to sit here and break it down to my sister and explain to her that, what was it? She had Alzheimer's. Yeah, she was suffering from something like Alzheimer's. Like she was going back in the past. And she was, calling us. Like, it's just crazy. Like, at times she would think that I was one of my other sisters, but like that was the hardest thing I ever had to do, was to break it to my sister too. That's one of the hardest thing. Like, I sat here and I'm like, yo, that's my story. Like, I can't believe. I'm like, but I had to explain to her, like, yo, she's going through this, she's going through that, and right now she's mixing up her kids. She's thinking you're this person, she's thinking I'm this person. Like, yeah, I went through it before my mom passed away. Like, we were supposed to do a lot of things and we couldn't do it because by the time everything was set up to get done, she wasn't here no more. I was trying to get her to help, so she could be stable, but may she rest in peace. But life with her wasn't easy, and all I wanted with her was a bond. Like, yo, just listen to me. I need you to listen to me. I need you to understand what I'm going through, because I'm not understanding what I'm going through, and I need you to explain it to me. Like, why is this happening? Why is this person doing this? Like, why do I feel so dirty? Why do I feel like this is not right? Like, why do I feel so much pain? Not just emotionally, but eternally. She didn't pay attention. And there's consequences to everybody's actions. Even though I think that man should have gotten the karma first, not my mama. At least she should still be here. But him, he shouldn't be here. It's crazy, right?
Unfortunately, this is not an uncommon response. I am very open about my experiences with sexual assault, as well as mental illness. And as a result, I've received a lot of criticism. I've had very close friends accuse me of lying about being raped. And I've had strangers online tell me that I couldn't possibly have PTSD because I haven't fought in a war. And I know that if any of these people knew anything about my memory loss, they would tell me that my trauma is not valid if I can't remember it perfectly. But these criticisms have only taught me that I don't need the validation of others as long as I have my own. I know who I am and what happens to me, and the beliefs of others can never change that.
Facts.
PTSD has also taught me that there is nothing shameful about having a mental illness. I once had a therapist become very angry with me for identifying as a rape survivor and identifying as someone who has PTSD. She accused me of stigmatizing myself because I shared this with others. However,
and that's how it be. Like, yes, there are therapists that do that. That's why if you feel as though that the therapist you're going to see when you're going to, talk to this person and let everything out, it's not the one for you, ask to change the therapist. You could change your therapist. You ain't got to be stuck with the therapist they give you when you go first make that appointment. No, you don't feel comfortable with this one, change it. There's going to be a therapist out there that's going to click with you and it's going to understand you and you're going to understand everything they're telling you.
I believe that the only way that we can begin to destigmatize mental illness and rape is by talking about it. Denying your trauma will never heal it. So, if you're someone who's experienced trauma, or if you can relate to anything that I've said today, I encourage you to try what I did. I urge you to buy a journal. Write down what you remember and spend time processing it so you can finally begin to heal. And then once you're comfortable enough, talk about it. Shame is an extremely powerful emotion that surrounds many victims of trauma.
And that's a fact. Listen, if you're not ready to talk about your trauma, don't go out there and, just blur things out or just talk about things. No, wait. If you're not ready, just wait. There's going to be a point in time where you are ready, where you're going to be able to express everything that you want to say so that the people can hear what you got to say. Like, there's a lot of people out here that'll, jump right into it, and instead of helping themselves, they jump in a bigger hole because they wasn't ready and they can't take back the lashback from people out there. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. Like, I had to learn how to deal with a lot of lashback. And it's not that I wasn't ready. I couldn't understand at one moment, at a certain point in time, why is it that people would come on here, right? If you don't care about what this person is going through, why sit there and listen? Take the time and even listen. Why waste your time? You would think that the people that care about these topics would be the ones that are sitting here listening to these type of topics and trying to grip what they can out of these topics. But no, you got people that allegedly say they don't care, or why is there people on here talking about this stuff, or that's not true, this can't be possible, you must show proof. No, it's not like that. Not everybody has to show proof about what they've been through. Their story alone should be enough. And if you can't tell when somebody's lying, that's on you. That's not on nobody else but you. There's people out here that want to, speak on their story to help the next person. They're not just speaking on their story. They're telling you how they overcame it. You don't have to do what they did. You see where I'm coming from? You don't have to do what they do. But you can sit here and listen to their story and grasp something out of it, grip something out of it, get something out of it, understand something out of it, learn something from it. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. A lot of people are, then listen, man, you shouldn't even be here or on that type of channel that's talking about whatever you allegedly don't want to hear about. But you're there. You're listening and you're giving a comment. So that's showing that you must care, that you, how can I say it? Can relate, whatever, but you're there for a reason. Blessings, Sparky Madness. Blessings, how you doing? Hey girl, I'm shouting out your channel and restreaming you. Say hey, tell my audience what your channel talks about. Blessings, Sparky Madness. Young Riaz, if you can you check out Sparky? If you're still here, Young Riaz might still be here. And leave her link down below so that anybody can go check her out. If y'all like her, y'all know, y'all can check her out. If y'all don't like her, y'all can keep moving. Y'all don't got to leave no smart remarks, please. Like, listen, don't do that. If you don't like a certain person's channel, just leave. Just leave. So there is a lot of people out here. It doesn't matter what type of trauma you're going through. It doesn't even have to just be about sexual assault. There's people out here that are recovering addicts, and they're really trying to get on their feet because they really care. But people want to pay attention to the ones that don't care and try to help those. But the ones that want the help and are trying to actually change, they say screw those. There's so many ways I can go about this. But today we're talking about sexual assault. Today we're talking about surviving warriors. Today, we're letting people know that whether you're a male, whether you're a female, you can overcome this obstacle. It's not going to be something easy. It's not going to be something fast. It's going to be something that's going to take time. And it's going to take people that actually care about you, that's going to stick around you. Because you're going to have people around you that's going to try to, knock you off your hinges. They're going to try to take you into that dark path. And people fall for it. Don't. You got to fight. You got to stand up and keep speaking your truth.
When you speak out and tell your story, you shut down those feelings of shame and guilt. In addition, you lessen the shame and guilt of other survivors by letting them know that they are not alone. If I've inspired any survivors today, please thank me by inspiring others and telling your story. You can reclaim your power from the people.
That's a fact. That's something that I tell everybody. That's the same thing I said when I, did the review on when I did my story and I spoke to other people. Like, listen, man, I spoke on my story. I said this, and I kind of lashed out the first time I did it. This is the calmest I've ever done it. But back then to now, from 3 years ago to today, yeah, I've become a better person. I've become a better me. Like, I've learned how to block out certain things and ignore certain people, let the right ones in. And at times, I'm not going to lie, I let that shield that I got up a little too low, and somebody walks in without me knowing it, that I have to sit here and I have to kick. I'm like, yo, man, you don't belong here. You is a stranger in my house. I got to sit here and roll you up, like turn you into a basketball. I'm like, oh, Kobe, shoot you right out the window, right into a trash can. I can't deal with the toxic shit. It's like, you could tell when somebody's toxic. They want you to keep doing the same thing that's hurting you over and over and over again. No, you get tired of that. I don't know. I really don't understand how there's people out here that like that type of stuff. You see people changing and it's like you want them to go right back. They're so close. They're right there. They've reached the light, But y'all want them to go back. Y'all want to push them back so far. You want them to get chained back up to a bed to the point where now they're reliving their nightmare with Freddie. Now they think that they're at fault. Now they think that they're wrong and they can't speak up because you feel some type of way. It don't work like that, yo. People should be able to speak up, and others should not judge a book by its cover without sitting here and reading the pages through.
Will have hurt you by telling your story and letting others know that trauma is nothing to be ashamed of. And if you're someone who hasn't experienced trauma, please hear me out. Support those that come forward to you. They have shown extreme courage by speaking out, and they have given you their trust. Be the support that they so desperately need. So many survivors aren't believed when they come forward, and they're not given the resources that they should be. But this can change, and it can start with you. I am a survivor of rape. I say this proudly and unashamed because by reclaiming the things that have happened to me, they no longer have the power to hurt me. Thank you.
Yo, shout out to that young lady for being brave enough. You know, she spoke in front of an audience, and that's not something easy to do. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the first time that I spoke on my story, I had a couple viewers in there. Like it wasn't no 50, it wasn't no. I had like maybe 100, 200, 300 between YouTube and Facebook. And when I was telling my story, yo, I was also paying attention to the chat, and it was also getting to my head. The more it got into my head, the more I lashed out even more because like I wanted to say stuff to people, but I was letting it all out. Like, man, I've already been bullied on YouTube. I already know what it feels like to be talked about. Man, y'all ain't gonna get in my head no more. But at times it kind of does. Shouldn't, but we let it happen by accident. And it But I want y'all to see this video. Now, y'all heard a female's perspective, right? When it comes to surviving sexual assault and stuff like that. As a man, if you've been through sexual assault, you can. Blessings, Sparky Madness. Hold on, let me. No, I can't do it. Can I? Can I check her channel out? Let me see one second. Can I drop her link myself? I don't know if I got any. No, I want to view her channel. Oh, go to channel. Let me see if I could drop your link myself. Copy. Close. Let me see. Sparky Madness. I'm learning. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hit that link, but I'm learning. There you go. So, hey, I can drop a link myself. All right, so there we go. I had to do it straight from over there. All right, but all right. So there are guys out here that go through sexual assault, molestation, and all that, right? And they tell the men that, oh, how is it possible? You know, how can you're a man. You should have been able to fight. You should have been able to do this. But yo, like I said, if y'all want to go back a little bit, men do go through it. And what's crazy is that there have been women that have roofied men and have violated them. There have men out here that have overpowered other men and have violated them. There have been a group of men that have sat here and violated one man. And if a lot of men go to jail, a lot of them get violated too if they don't know how to defend themselves. What's crazy is just a man can't get violated the same way a woman can. Why is that so hard for y'all to sit here and believe and understand? Why do y'all make fun of a man that goes through this?
How did I start? Well, I started actually early on in my career because men just started to talk about and women started to talk about being sexual abuse survivors.
I grew up as the only child of two highly dysfunctional alcoholic parents. And I was sexually abused in the home by my father. My mother saw it and did nothing.
Wow. Damn. I wasn't expecting that. I missed that earlier. So I made it up to like right here, I think. Damn. That's I need to listen to the whole thing. No skipping, no surfing through this. He said his father. Wow. That's crazy.
And walked away from it, and I interpreted that as it being okay. I don't know when it started, but I know it stopped when I was 13.
See, he interpreted it as being okay. When I was going through it and my mom should have, did something, I interpreted it as in, why are you letting him hurt me? This is hurting me. I don't like it. So wow, his father.
He spent a lot of time with me and gave me a lot of attention. So between the ages of 3 and 5, he molested and sexually abused me. And I never told anybody, didn't really know what to do with it. Had a hard time making sense of somebody that I really cared about that showed interest in me doing something that was so hurtful.
I walked in on him while he was masturbating, and he included me in that session. I was under 5.
The minister kind of took me under his wing, and I realize now that it was actually part of probably.
Oh wow, he got sexually assaulted by a minister. So, yo, let me tell y'all something, right? There are a lot of stories out here by females and males, little boys, little girls that have been touched by a priest, by a pastor, by a minister. And for y'all that be like, oh, that's not possible. Listen, man, go out there and look. And there are stories that are fake out there, but y'all could tell which ones are the real ones. Like, stop turning a blind eye to everything. Stop turning all the cheeks that y'all ain't got to turn.
A 2-year grooming process put me in positions in the church of being affirmed and being noticed, and it actually gave opportunities for my dad to be proud of me while I was there. On a weekend,
I'm gonna pause it right here, and anybody that wants to come up, speak on their story, speak their truth, y'all more than welcome. Y'all don't have to go into details, but y'all can, speak on your story, speak your truth, like how you overcame it. Y'all more than welcome to do that. Y'all don't want to come and hit the link, y'all could, let a shorty know. I'll drop the number. I'll open the phone lines up for y'all. But y'all are more than welcome, and y'all could take up advantage when I do these lives like that. Y'all want to come up and, y'all don't feel comfortable anywhere else and y'all just want to let it out. Y'all can come and do it. Y'all are more than welcome. We're not here to judge. We're not here to bash. We're here to bring solutions to the table and to bring awareness. Nothing more, nothing less.
Camp out, he sexually abused me. And at that point, then I broke away from the church, stopped going. No one asked questions. They just knew that I was, being different, probably attributed to teenage years, that kind of thing.
Around when I was 7, I was molested by my grandfather. He spent, I think it occurred over one summer, as far as I can tell.
I knew it was there. It was. I finally picked it up, made the phone call, and a lady answered the phone, and I was so choked up I couldn't talk. It's even on the verge of it now as I think of it. And what seemed like 10 minutes, it was probably 10 seconds. But she said, "Sir, whoever you are, stay on the line. I'm stay with you. Do not hang up." I don't even remember her name, but she was one of the angels of my life, because obviously she had experienced this before. And I said, "I need help."
I think that if it hadn't been for my wife, I would not have moved along the process at the rate that I have, which would have robbed me of some really wonderful years ahead. So I don't think that I would be where I am today had she not, been the person to encourage and to offer the support and listen to the stories. And, when I come back from counseling or when I come back from group, she always wants to know how it goes. I don't have to disclose, things that are personal or things that are confidential for the other guys in the group, but she's just always curious about, like, how is it serving me, and how is it, that I'm, where am I in the process? So,
The recovery is like uncovering or taking the layers off an onion. It really is. Every time you think you figured something out, something else will pop up, and you can start looking at that and then figure out how to deal with that.
1994 was when we started the Weekends of Recovery program. And from there, we started bringing survivors together in all places around the country, about 5 different places where we bring 28 guys in for a weekend. And we have staff of 8 therapists who worked with these men. And so it was a very intense experience, but really provided a sense of community for these men. So it's been an incredible journey.
And it was amazing to be with a group of people that actually understand what I'm saying without having to.
All right.
When you say you feel shame, these people know what that.
That right there, those are men, right, that are sharing their experience and how they overcame it. And for those of y'all that think that men can't go through these type of experiences, I think y'all need to take a real good look at life, analyze stuff that's going on around us, and actually see. Because another thing that I also hear is, oh, he must be gay if he was, sexually assaulted. And that's not always the case. It's messed up to say, but no. It's not always the case. When I say messed up to say it's messed up to hear people think like that. That it's crazy to say this, though, that a lot of these men out here and a lot of these females that, are either dykes or gay, the majority of them aren't even sexually assaulted. They have not been molested or, touched in any type of way. They just like that because that's what they want to be. That's what they choose to be. So a lot of people need to sit here and analyze what they're saying and what comes out their mouth when people are out here speaking on their story and speaking their truth. Like, I don't know why a lot of y'all take things the way it shouldn't be, but hey. But yeah, it's not easy for a lot of these people to, Whoa, what's going on? You froze on me? Yep, it did. All right, let's go on to the next video real quick. And then, before I end the live, I want to show y'all a couple of, people that I do support, people that I think y'all should, go watch if y'all want to watch. If y'all don't, like I said, y'all can keep it moving. Like, I've had people sit here because I have done it in the past by, thinking that it was a good panel, but it ended up being a beef panel. But no, like, I'm going to show y'all some good channels that y'all can actually go and watch and, learn something from and build from and build with. So let's watch this right quick.
When I was about 13, 14 years old, I remember coming back from school on the bus, wearing my school uniform, and a man brushed his hands up against my leg and then put his hand in between my legs. I didn't say anything, and that's part of me thinking, this is your fault. I deserve this. I can control the length of my skirt. Maybe it won't happen again. I was first raped when I was a university student. Well, I denied it for a whole year that I'd even got raped, that this had even happened to me. I was able to keep a strong exterior, but that might not have been the most healthy option for me. I was overdue a breakdown. And so when it happened, everyone was like, what? We thought you were successful. You were going to university. You were doing so well. Even if I can go through the normal paces of life, put on a smile and show everyone that I'm happy, I'm successful, I'm doing well, in the back of my head, I feel so sick, ashamed, and
that's how a lot of us go through life. Listen, man, I went a long time thinking like that. And what's crazy is that I was actually making money. I was doing this, but all this money that I was making and all the stuff that I was buying, all this expensive clothes and everything wasn't making me happy. Like, getting high, doing this and doing that wasn't making me happy. If anything, it was making me feel worse. Like, when I spoke on what happened to me and I actually listened to the advice that was given to me, that's when things started really changing. when I had my firstborn and I started, seeing what it was to be a mother, what it felt like to have actual real love back, that's when I started, really changing. When I lost the people that I cared about the most, that's when I, straightened myself up. When I had my daughter, that's when I sat here and I'm like, yo, no more playing around. Get it together. That's when I got me all the way together. But before that, it was like, an addict when they go through withdrawals. For real. So it's not easy dealing with trauma. And a lot of people out here deal with their trauma in different ways. But it doesn't hurt to sit here and accept help from somebody that really does care about you. What's crazy is when we're going and lashing out and we're ranting and we're doing this, we take the help from the ones that really don't care about us. That's the messed up part about it.
Defined by my experiences. And I think, will there ever be a time that I won't have these nightmares, these flashbacks being triggered? You're transported back to the heart of the event. It can be any small thing that reminds you of it. If it's a loud noise, if it's the feeling of someone accidentally brushing up against you on the tube, and all of a sudden I am reliving it and it is happening to me again. So my body does tense up. I'm cringing with shame and I can taste spit that isn't my own. It makes me want to throw up.
Yep.
I was embarrassed to answer people's questions like, why were you alone at that time of night? Didn't you fight back? What were you wearing? I was always colourful and playful with my fashion and how I dressed. I started to doubt that part of myself. I started to think that I was being provocative. And so that whole part of my identity was taken away from me when I was first raped. I overanalyzed my appearance, from whether I was wearing too much mascara, to how short my skirt was, to whether I looked pretty that day. I need to appear more introverted. I need to appear less interested in men, to stop this from ever happening.
And that's a fact. Let me tell y'all a little bit about how I did it. I went gothic. I started changing. My mom used to always have me in little dresses and stuff like that. I looked like a little church girl and stuff. And I hated it because men's attention will always be towards me. So how I started feeling comfortable about myself was I started dressing like a boy. I still got the tomboyish style. Till this day, I still got the tomboyish style because I feel comfortable. But I dress a little more girlyish now. Back then, it wasn't like that. I would really dress like a boy to the point where you could really sit here and say, yo, like, you could really be confused. Like, is she a dyke? Is she straight? Like, what's up? Like, and I wouldn't get mad because I was comfortable, but not realizing that no matter how I dressed, no matter how I put a cap on or how I put my hair, how, I made myself look, they was going to look at myself. They was going to look at me. They was going to look at me in ways that I didn't want them to look at me. I was going to feel uncomfortable around a lot of men. And I had to change that in me. Like, I had to look at myself in the mirror and accept me for who I was. Love me for who I was. I had to realize, listen, man, you was a young lady. You went through this. You was, made to do things that you didn't want to do. Like, I get that at times you feel like you're dirty. At times you feel like, why wear a dress if it's easy access? What if this happens and you're not able to run away because you got this dress on? Like, yo, listen, man, there's so many reasons why I didn't want to dress like a girl. And I thought that dressing like a boy would change so many things. And as I got older, dressing like a boy didn't matter to a lot of these nasty old men out here that, were lusting over these little girls. It didn't matter because I guess the more, how can I say it? The more heavier my clothes was, the more boyish I looked, the more they try to picture how I was underneath my clothes. And that's the crazy part. And I didn't learn that until I was older. I didn't learn that until I started really listening to my therapist, and I went under the wing of my baby pops, my daughter's father. And I was 21 years old. That's what's crazy. Regardless of anything, no matter what you put on, these men are going to try to picture you any way possible, especially when they thirsty out here. Old, young, it doesn't matter. So it's just, you have to feel comfortable yourself in your own skin, in your own body. You have to feel comfortable with the way you look. I stopped worrying when I had my daughter. And I had to sit here. I'm like, yo, I don't want her to feel the way I feel, and it's not something that she went through. I can't not have her thinking the way I think when she didn't even go through none of this. All I could do is sit here and watch, observe, protect, explain things to her when she asks us the questions, guide her, be a mother, and be that friend when she needs that, that listening ear. Like, that's all I could do. But I didn't want my daughter to turn into me, so I had to change so many things about me, and I had to relearn myself and figure out who I was. And what's crazy is, a lot of y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Looking into that little girl, watching her, she does all the things that I used to do when I was little. I'm like, yo, that's the purest version of me. The purest version of me right now, walking right next to me. And what's crazy is she wants to be just like me. Loves her dad. Wants to be like her dad, but she wants to be exactly like me. Like, Mom, I want to grow up. I want to be a chef. I want to play basketball. I want to be a doctor. She wants to be everything. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, she has her childhood. Her childhood wasn't taken like mine. Her innocence hasn't been taken. I can't sit here and keep behaving the way I'm behaving and thinking the way I'm thinking. I cannot give her, pass on to her what was done to me. My trauma, the trauma that runs through my DNA cannot get passed on to her. I'm breaking that cycle. I'm figuring out how to do things. We cannot stay stuck in that past, because if we don't find a way out of it, we're going to drown in it and we're going to die with it. Being miserable, unhappy. And there were so many times where, I would have to sit here and fake a smile. I could sit here and honestly say that no more. I don't have to go out there and fake that smile, make the world think I'm okay when I'm not. I don't have to sit here and push so many people away when they're trying to help me and I'm thinking they're not. Because there was a point in time where I was taking all the help from the ones that didn't give about me and pushed away all those that were climbing mountains to help me. It's crazy because you would think they're family. No, at times it could be a complete stranger. People get mad at me and they be like, yo, blood is supposed to be thicker than water. Water is thicker than blood to me. You can't get mad at me for my opinion, for what, if I've experienced. If, blood is thicker than water to you, then that's what it is. You've had a good family. I can't knock you down for that. You can't knock me down because I think that the family that I've created is my family. That's what they are. They've been there for me. They love me like if they were my brothers or my sisters. I've had old heads take me under their wing and love me like if they was my mom or my dad. Real shit. And I wish that back then I would have known that all these people that are still right here standing next to me after the treatment that I gave them, they're here. They didn't walk away. They didn't give up. They were right here. Even when I was going through what I was going through trying to help my baby dad, and I'm talking about the father of my first 2 kids. I got 3 kids. 2 of them, their father is deceased. They got the same father. My last child, her father's right there with her every step of the way. We co-parent. We're together. We do everything together. That's my best friend, my fiance, everything. And can't nobody take that out my head, because at the end of the day, listen, we've been through so much. We've been through so much that this would be the man right here that I give my life to, because he's been there. He's rocked out for me. He's shown me that not every man is the same. For real. And if, listen, you got to treat men the same way you want to be treated. And I'm not saying treat a man like a woman. What I'm saying is, listen, man, treat others the same way you want to be treated. If you treat a man the same way you want to be treated, this man is going to roll down the carpet for you. But if you're sitting here and having him pay for somebody else's mistake, this man is going to sit here and give you back what you're giving him. And I've learned that through 2 men in my life that I've been with and I had kids with. I wish I would have known that completely in my first, relationship, my first time that I was with somebody, first time when I had kids with this person, that no, you don't do what your parents do. You don't do what you see your friends' moms do out here, scream and shout at the nigga because they mad at him or because they went through this, do that, make him go through it. No. If he's a good man, treat him as a good man. Like if you're a good woman, you want this man to treat you as a good woman. That's what I'm saying. I've learned a lot from my past, where others are still trying to sit here and be like, oh no, it's his fault, it's his fault. Not everybody's to blame because of what you went through. It's not everybody's fault. Not everybody was there. Like I said, we have to learn how to love ourselves first. We have to accept ourselves, accept the body that we're in. We went through that, yes. We went through that trauma, and we had to figure out ways on how to overcome all them obstacles that came along the way, because a lot of people, we hurt in the process. We didn't want to, but we did, because we was hurting. And that's why I said, when we have the memories that we sat here and we thought we forgot about, or you went to a therapist and, they sat here and they helped you forget about it, and then out of nowhere, out of the blue, these things just come because it was triggered by some event that you just went through. Y'all don't know how that feels. Because when you're going through a panic attack, it actually, them thoughts that are going through your heads, they feel so real. I don't know if anybody's actually ever had a real panic attack out here, but I've had them. I had a whole bunch of them. And I've learned how to overcome them panic attacks with no medication, no nothing. I'm literally, like, I get them and I know how to sit here and deal with them. Like now I don't gotta, I'm stripping. I'm feeling like I'm dying. My heart's coming out my chest, sweat everywhere. I'm sitting here trying to process the thoughts in my head. The first time I ever went through a panic attack, my brother was there. I didn't know what was going on. I'm sitting, I'm screaming, I'm shouting. Half the stuff that I did and said, I don't remember. But what I do remember is I sat here and I don't know why, but I took my clothes off. I told my brother that I couldn't breathe. I told my brother I was dying. I needed air. I opened up the window. I was about to jump out that window. My brother touched me from my back. I was like, yo, get away from me. Don't touch me. I was kicking. I was fighting him. He's like, yo, it's me, sis. I promise you. I promise you. My brother's trying to calm me down. And I'm in my head still because it feels real. It feels real. So I understand where a lot of people come from when they talk, and they say this and they say that. I don't judge this book by its cover. I don't judge people because a lot of people are the way they are because of something they've been through, something they still probably don't even know how to deal with. But there's people out here that I could be very honest about and say that they don't want the help. They want to keep going through that pain. They want to be miserable. They don't want to change, no matter if they got people that care about them. That's the messed up part about it. The trauma is real. And there are survivors out here that can speak on a story that can help the next person. You never know how your story can impact the next person.
Again, all that effort I spent analyzing every detail of my being, none of it kept me safe. It happened again. I was raped for the second time. Because it is toxic for victims to believe that there is something about them that made and makes them justified targets. It can happen even if you're wearing a winter coat and a big jumper, which I was. Whatever you wear, however you look, however you talk to men, you don't deserve it and you can't predict.
Like I just said earlier, I had to realize that it doesn't matter what you wear or how you make yourself look. If a man is a sexual deviant, he's a sexual deviant.
I actually kept my outfit from my first rape. In the back of my wardrobe, there was that not too mini skirt and that strappy top. One day I saw the outfit and I thought, I love that outfit. Why don't I put it back on again? PTSD changed who I am. It changes my physical reactions. It changes how I feel about things. To be able to dress how I used to do before my rapes and before my sexual assaults feels great because I am myself again. I've learned from therapy, grounding techniques, what can I see around me that's beautiful? What is the brightest, craziest color?
And that's a fact because it took me a minute. And these videos are on Google. For those of you that, want to check them out, they are on Google. You can search tips for someone who has, survived a sexual assault. And all these videos will pop up. It's so many ways we could overcome these obstacles, guys. Like, don't stay stuck because somebody made you feel some type of way. Screw that person. If this person can't give you an advice that can help you, leave them where they at. Leave them right there in the past. They don't belong nowhere near around you or in your life. But on that note, I hope that I was able, to get people to understand where I was coming from with this live. I hope that I was able to help a couple people out there with this live. And I hope that, more people speak up. Don't shut yourself down. Don't put that shield down like a lot of us did. Like, put it up when you have to. You're going to get that feeling. As a survivor, as a surviving warrior, deep down you get this feeling. And you could tell when somebody's good, and you could tell when somebody's bad. You could tell when somebody's perverted or, creep. Like, listen, man, listen to your gut. Your gut's not going to lie to you. Your heart, your eyes, and your mind at times could lie to you. But your gut's not going to lead you in the wrong way or in the wrong direction. Let me see. All right, guys. We share this maybe again. Where was I? Oh, how do I do that? See what I got here. Oh, I gotta see. I don't know if she's still live, but I'm about to see if she's live in a minute. Or if not, I'll just catch the replay. All right. Sparky Madness. All right, so what I'm about to do right now is, if you want to promote your channel real quick, y'all can. I'm not going to be here for long, but I am going to promote a couple channels while I can. And if y'all want to come check these channels out, y'all more than welcome, yo. All right, so I'm going to start off right here with channels that I am subscribed to. I don't know how to get them right, but hey, I'm going to click on that. But we got Sparky Madness right here. She's got good topics. She is live right now, but I'm not going to play her live. What I'm going to do is we're going to play one of her shorts. Y'all want to go check her out live? Go make sure she's live right now, guys.
Turn on his light in the bump. You're not going to tell him? Hey, Booty. Tell him how you know how to turn on your own light. I have push button lights. He knows how to turn on his light in the bump. You're not going to tell him?
Show us.
Hey, Booty. I just got permission from Derek Lambert to restream Rewired Addiction streams and to restream Myth Vision stuff. I'm fixing to go find all the stuff on cults that's on Myth Vision, y'all. We're fixing to learn some stuff.
Okay. Sparky
Hey,
Madness. Hold on. We gotta get back to your panel. Well, over here, let's check one of her videos. Money Talk, and don't forget the stream in the morning. Let's see. Sparky. Oh, I got you on mute. Let me get you on mute.
Coming to my channel. You know, we always end up talking about money. Like I do talk about money too, right? Like, like some channels have one thing they do. I'm such a colorful, multifaceted person.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I can't just have one thing for my channel.
Yes, I feel you, Sparky. Listen, man, I tried doing that multi-channel thing, trying to separate everything with the topics and all that. No, I think it's all good. One channel, the family things, my reaction videos, all that on one channel. I'm with you, man. Multi, have different type of topics that we could talk about that, would interest different peoples, not just one type of you on the right. That's why I decided, listen, one channel. That's it. If I do another channel, it's going to be like, for example, I'm thinking about going back to the gym. So I might do a workout channel and then a cooking channel. See, that's kind of different from all this right here. the cooking channel and the workout channel. Oh, and my daughter's going to Girl Scouts. I'm going to have a channel just for Riders for Life Girl Scouts because she's going to be a part of the Girl Scouts. And yo, listen, I'm hyped. I said a boom, chicka boom. I said a boom, chicka rocka, chicka boom. And that's how I say it.
Because I'm not just one thing. Like, I know that works for other channels, but until we get to a place of community where we all agree that that's the one thing, I can't do just one thing because, you know, I just can't.
Guys, if y'all want to promote y'all channel, y'all could, you know, leave the links down below. Y'all could hit the link. Y'all could tell Shorty, drop the phone lines.
We understand that I can't. Okay, so we're going to talk about money again. We got to keep talking about money because money makes the world go round. Money is energy. Money is paper that monetary value has been assigned to, right? So money's how we pay our bills. Money's how we shop. Money's how we do a lot of things. We show people support with money. We show people love with money. Money is just energy. It's just energy. Okay. So there was some things said about money to me recently that it really wasn't that person's business. And we exchange money through YouTube, don't we? Like, haven't I exchanged money with people I've done?
Listen. We could. Hey, Sparky, you're not wrong, Sparky. Tell them. Listen, man. Like, a lot of people can sit here. I use YouTube to bring awareness, right? And to try to get parents to come together, people to come together, and, you know, to bring solutions to the table on what we could do with the school system and our communities and much more. I react to videos, but I also have a business, which is right now I'm waiting for YouTube to approve to let me, you know, leave the links down below so that people could visit my virtual shop. And I'm gonna be leaving it on my page too. I'm gonna be leaving the website, the links and all that. And when I get my website together, I'm gonna leave that there for people to, you know, be able to come check the website out, and I can get the messages directly. So you ain't wrong. Listen, YouTube is used for so many things. It's a place of business too. You could come in here, just have fun. You could use it for business, or you could use it for whatever it is that you want to use it for.
Done it. Y'all done it. Like, it's an exchange of energy. And in my situation, I always feel like it's a, I love you, girl. You're going to make it. Every time somebody sends me some money, that's what I hear in the back of my head. Is that person's voice saying, I love you, sister. You are going to make it. Right? So, and
ain't nothing wrong. Listen, man, if somebody wants to support a certain content creator, whether it's, you know, y'all Shorty, Sparky, whether it's Young Riaz, whether it's Nate the Great, whether it's The Word, Angel, whether it's I could just keep going down, Damn DPOV, whether it's Kwame Brown, whether it's Just Joe Brown. Hey, listen, whether it's Tragan Productions, what you're giving them is helping them support their channel. I don't see a problem with people trying to support. What I see a problem with is people instigating in people's stuff. Don't instigate if you're not going to sit here and help. If you want to make the situation worse, back off. And if you don't like a certain channel, and if you're not with what these people are saying, don't stay there. Don't sit here and say, oh, I don't like this. Why are you doing this? But you're still there watching. Why? You must like something. You're giving a comment, so you must care about something. You're giving a view. You're giving time. So something is drawing your attention there that you haven't left somewhere else that would draw your attention. Keep doing what you're doing, Sparky.
I'm a responsible adult. I have a job. I don't shop. I just bought a couple of things for myself for my birthday. I don't need anything. I have multiple vehicles. I have multiple storage buildings. I am the girl with everything. Like, I'm so serious when I tell you that. You would have to see it to believe me, but I really am the girl with everything. I don't have a boyfriend.
She was about to say, I don't have a boyfriend. Money talk, and don't forget to stream in the morning. So Sparky is live right now. This is one of her videos. Y'all can go check it out. Now let's go back. All right, who else do we got here? Oh, we got Empress Lonnie One Love. Damn, Lonnie hasn't been on this channel for a year.
Oh, like she. Let's go. See, I'm about dollars. Try to ride me, Glock, push power forward like Rasheed Wallace. Yeah, I'm called Hollow. I'm a role model. Pistol in my hand with an OE bottle. Yeah, I'm a gangster. Holler will shank you right in your thinker. My mind full of anger. Never been a stranger. Always been a cannon. Shotgun, pop one. Yeah, I do damage. And I like gambling. I'm a dice pitcher.
So you know.
Oh, like.
What is this?
Yes. Janae, you on speakerphone. When we went to Del Frisco, you on speakerphone. When we went to Del Frisco's yesterday, what was the name of that appetizer you ordered?
Oh. Oh no. But I do know that Lonnie is funny as hell. Y'all can go check her out. The what bit? No. Let me see. We got Trey Gang Productions. Let's watch one of Trey Gang shorts. Wait, please look me up there. Yo, Trey Gang Productions. If y'all don't know about Kanika Jenkins, y'all should go check out Trey Gang Productions. A lot of his videos have to do with Kanika Jenkins.
To get the card, because you got to send the maintenance man down there to unlock it for them to go in there. You see what time this is? It's at 3:56, going on 4 o'clock. Watch this.
It's one of his shorts. As y'all can see, Trey Gang is somebody that talks about Kanika Jenkins a lot. And he has all the scoop that you want to know about Kanika Jenkins. So mostly all his videos is about Kanika Jenkins, as y'all can see.
Because we know the misreport already.
So if you don't know about Kanika Jenkins, if you don't know what happened to Kanika Jenkins, and you want to learn what happened to Kanika Jenkins, I suggest you go check out Trey Gang.
It had been made at one some in the afternoon by Leonora, right? And the manager called it on Leonora, right? Now he asking her about the missing person report. He always said, yeah, that's where the real footage come from on the 11th floor, because everybody got video in the phone. That's when Irene supposed to be Jalen Ford on the 11th floor. So basically, when he was telling everybody Irene was Jalen Ford, he was basically telling you this were the trans, and Irene, Monique and them was all on the 11th floor. Like Prince K said, that's where all the trans gonna be. On the 11th floor. So boom.
If y'all haven't checked out Trey Gang Productions, make sure y'all go check out Trey Gang Productions. Oh, we got Marlene Motivates. Marlene Motivates is somebody that really reminds me of the therapist that I had in my teenage years. The one that got me to get my act together, because she had patience with me. And the way she would talk to me was different from the way that other, people would talk to me. She really sat here and had me get some common sense. That's who Marlene reminds me of. So if you haven't checked out Marlene, make sure y'all go check out Marlene. And this is one of her
think
shorts.
about having a budget, looking into our 401k, our Roth IRA, creating a budget and a plan, saving money, not wasting it, not trying to keep up with what everybody else didn't think about, having a budget, looking into our 401k. welcome to the Love Channel Member Show for January of 2024.
Those are one of her videos. What a bud in the throat. Let's go see one of her lives. Well, she has one set. Well, what? 7:30. When is that? Oh, that's for February. But this is Marlene, and these will be her lives right here. So if y'all haven't checked
They
out
want
Marlene,
you to do because you want to make them happy. So when you see red flags, run. When
they see red flags, they need to stop thinking it's Six Flags.
you see red flags, run. Run and run fast, right? Run and run fast. Yes, shout out to them. Yes, wellness, shout out to them. Absolutely awesome job. Yeah, prayers for them.
All right, if you haven't checked up to Marlene, make sure you do, yo. Great topics, great conversations. Here's somebody else that, yo, if you haven't subbed up to Papa Duck, if you haven't woken up that third eye, y'all need to go open up that third eye. Y'all need to check out Papa Duck.
Do you really want to know why things are the way they is? You do? Then don't go nowhere, because your boy about to put you on game, all right?
That's a Papa Duck beat.
But know what time it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, and please share.
Did I like it?
It's free.
Nope.
I am rocking Ubuntu, because this video is sponsored by Ubuntu. These will be up on the website in a couple days, and you can go grab them. But for now, go to the website, grab you some gear, man. And like I say, I thank y'all in advance. Listen, I'm about to show y'all a short video. And I want y'all to pay close attention to the whole video, but more importantly, to what he say at the end. Check this out.
Papa Duck is somebody that brings awareness about everything that's happening around us, and he is raw and uncut with it. So if you want to learn about the things that are going on around us and understand the depths of it, go check out Papa Duck.
So therefore, we have to have what Walter Lippmann, back in 1920 or so, called manufacture of consent. We have to ensure that actual decision-making, actual power is in the hands of what he called a specialized class, us smart guys, who are going to make the right decisions. And we've got to keep the general population marginalized, because they're always going to make mistakes.
Marginalizing meaning?
Reduce them to apathy and obedience. Allow them to participate in the political system, but as consumers, not as true participants. That is, allow them a method for ratifying decisions that are made by others, but eliminate the methods by which they might first inform themselves, second organize, and third act in such a way as to really control decision making. That is, the idea is our leaders control us, not we control them.
Now you see it for yourself. This ain't no joke, people. Did you hear everything he said? Most importantly, did you hear what he said at the end? The powers that be do not want the people to educate themselves so that they can organize themselves.
Papa Duck, they heard you. They heard it. They don't care. They really don't care. And I've really learned that. That I've learned that from all these people that I've been, paying attention to, watching. These people around us don't care about what's happening around us. As long as they can have their fun, that's all that matters to them. And that's a shame, because they don't know the real meaning of love, the real meaning of, of us being together, coming together, and actually building.
And so that they can make proper decisions for themselves, about themselves. This is not a democracy. Okay, this is a republic. They want you to think this is a democracy. It's not. Bro, you don't have free will. You can't travel and go where you want to go without a bitch telling you no. oh, you don't have a passport, or you don't have this. You talking about people that can't come over here to a country to get a better living because another group of people say that, no, we don't want that. We living in a motherfucking dictatorship, man. Can't you see that? I want people to understand how much controlled you are. You are so controlled. You're living in a reality that they're building as you live in.
If y'all haven't checked out Papa Duck, make sure y'all do. Listen, man, I'm always promote Papa Duck, always. Here is somebody else that I think a lot of people should come listen to, and if they want to chat with her, they can. It's Maritza. Her channel is called Be Encouraged with Maritza, and she has a lot of good topics. You know, let's look at one.
You have one unheard message. First unheard message sent yesterday at 7:15 p.m.
Hey, what's up, kiddo? I'm kind of glad I went into voicemail so you can re-listen to this whenever you want. I know life sucks sometimes. I mean, I see it in your eyes that you're struggling.
It's called Hashtag Message. That's one of her videos. And let's see one of her shorts. Oh, I see her right here on one of her shorts. Oh, let's click. I missed her last live. I shared it. I got to catch up to it. I was up to like right here.
Figure it out. I just know where I'm at today.
I was somewhere around here.
It's extra busy. Hey, me,
I
Kate,
gotta
Nitty. Hey, brother Young.
whole live.
Welcome. So I might as well start because my peoples are here.
But if y'all haven't checked her out,
Since September
make sure y'all check her out.
23rd, 2022, that's when things start to turn for the worse. I start to see how much this young lady really thought of me. That didn't even take the time to discuss these things, and it just threw out everything that she would say that were positive out the window. I really feel like she never meant it. I really felt like I was an easy target because I was new to dictate how to do things over here. And the last time I remembered that I signed the lease for Progress Residential and not this young lady. So here it is. I was being tested. I fell.
And that's a fact. Come check Maritza out, guys. There's a lot of obstacles that we go through, and Maritza, somebody, you know, that she gives a lot of stories and explains how she's overcome a lot of her situations. So if y'all haven't checked Maritza out, make sure y'all do. Oh, we got Lake and Kisses in here. Y'all haven't checked out Lake and Kisses, make sure y'all do. I missed this. This is her live or something? Let me see.
Not take seeing that baby. So I told her, I said, Danny, I said, you said you was gonna help out with your little sister. And I said, Danny, I said, we still love you. I said, Danny, nothing gonna change. You still the chocolate princess. Danny said, no, I'm the chocolate queen.
I love Lake and Kisses. Y'all gotta check out Lake and Kisses, y'all.
Good morning. I was challenged by Maritza 617 for this challenge. The questions are, you left-handed or right-handed? I'm both-handed, guys. I can use my left hand and my right hand. Are you single or are you taken? I'm single. 3 positive traits about you. I'm loving, caring, and helping. 3 negative traits about you. I procrastinate a lot, foul mouth, and I can go from 0 to 100 real quick. Okay, and
Pause it right there. Make sure y'all go check her video out. I didn't like that. Damn, what the hell? I missed a lot of stuff. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I've missed a lot of people's videos because I've been up and down. Ooh, I gotta catch up. Make sure y'all check out Lake and Kisses. Great topics, great lives. We got Enlightened with Legend of Oz on here too. I think he's somebody, y'all can go check out. Oh, I can only check out your lives. Let me see. Yep.
I'm neutral, Legend. Not today. You gonna be on my side today, God. You're gonna be on my side. Young Reds, I understand both genders, so okay. Brazy, that's Frank Reyes. Ooh. Young Reyes, Brazy, absolutely okay.
Yes, this is Enlightened with Legend of Oz. Make sure y'all go check out Enlightened with Legend of Oz. He is real funny, yo. I'm not gonna be able to get through everybody on here today, but let's see who we can get through. We can never, ever, ever forget about Nate. Always, always Nate, yo. Make sure y'all check out Nate, yo. I'm telling y'all gonna love Nate the Great podcast.
Y'all gotta make that make sense. Some of y'all claim y'all love y'all kids, and in the same token, how can you love your kids when you letting your kids run wild and crazy?
That's a fact,
You gotta make
Nate.
it make sense. Kind of disturbed because, again, I'm walking through my building, and as I'm walking down the stairs, a couple of young ladies don't even look older than the age of 16, sitting in the hallway smoking. This is the problem with society now. The youngins want to be so quick to be adults.
Pause it right there. Make sure y'all go check out Nate the Great podcast, because when I tell y'all positive talks, and Nate the Great is bold. There's no filters in his mouth. There's no hairs in his tongue. So I'm letting y'all know, if y'all don't want him to give y'all a eulogy, come respectfully.
Yeah, if everybody demons, I'ma call this hell. How I get rich off of a
For those of y'all that haven't checked out Real Spill JP, make sure y'all check her out. I'm about to put her short in her video. I'm listening to you.
It's time to grub. Yes. This is my brunch, y'all. I have me some yellow rice, broccoli, and salmon. This is my lunch. This is my lunch, y'all. Your girl is about to grub. I mean grub. Ooh, wee. With me an ice cold Coca-Cola. This gonna does the body good. This gonna do the body real good, y'all. Yep, but this is my brunch. Something quick, simple, and delicious. Quick, simple, and delicious. It's time to grub. Yes. This is my brunch, y'all. I have me some yellow rice, broccoli, and salmon. This is my lunch. This is my lunch, y'all. Your girl is about to grub. I mean, grub.
Hey, y'all. Coming to y'all with another video. The girl got her some hog maws. The girl got her egg boil. The girl got her some blue crabs. Y'all, I woke up hungry. This hog maw's almost gone. Y'all excuse me, cause with a Coca-Cola. Put a little too much hot sauce in these hog maws. About to have my nose running. When I tell y'all, baby. Bang, coming to y'all with another video. I have me some blue.
My bad. I had to answer a call. But yeah, these are some good channels. Real Spill JP. She be doing the mocking bangs. Y'all need to go check her out. She be having some good food when she be posting that, Jones. I'll be like, OMG. If only I had the time. Cutthroat Entertainment. He is somebody that's also funny. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He's somebody to shout out. He's bold too. Like, listen, man, but he's unfiltered. I'm gonna let y'all know he is very unfiltered and he gets rated R sometimes with him. But he also brings awareness to a lot of the stuff, which I think is good. And they speak about different things. So he's got great lives, great topics and stuff like that. But I do tell y'all, I'm just bringing awareness. I'm just letting y'all know, besides bringing awareness, it does get rated R sometimes. And when I mean rated R, it's not no porn, none of that. It gets explicit. The talks get very explicit.
One day packing bags, right? I used to go pack bags, right? No lie, I used to go pack bags at Saturday or Sunday morning, no lie, in the first of the month. And I used to make over $200 in 3 hours, 4 hours, packing bags. And just people giving me tips, dollars, food stamps, whatever they could. And I used to come home with let's say 5 hours, I used to come home with $200. You know what I'm talking about? Like, come on, when you make $200 like that.
I thought you was talking like when I was young. My guys used to bring me over 100, a big 8, and they used to pay me to chop it up into dubs. So I thought.
All right, so I'm gonna pause it there. And if y'all haven't checked out Cutthroat Entertainment, make sure y'all check him out. On my next live, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start promoting channels at the end of the lives. Trying to do different things as I go. So if y'all do got channels y'all want to promote, let a shorty know. But gonna start promoting the channels. On my next live, I will promote more channels. I think y'all should go watch them. They're good channels. Y'all can help each other build, and stuff like that. So let a shorty know what y'all think. Till next time, this y'all shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. And I will leave y'all with my new poem. Battle of my dreams, I was confined a prisoner of my own mind, hoping to find